In this video, I'm going to take you through a day in the life of a sports videographer. I'm actually going to take you through a few days, so you're going to see what it's like to work an edit day, a travel day, and most fun of all, a game day, and you're going to get a real sense of what it's actually like to work in sports videography. Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to show you my day in the life as a professional sports videographer, and it's actually going to be over the course of 2 days because the job kind of changed quite a bit from day to day. So today is a pretty normal day, and we're going to be doing some editing. We got to go to the office, and tomorrow we're actually going to film a game. It's the CFL's first game of the season, the kickoff, and we're going to be doing a bit of a travel day, and I'll show you what it's like to travel and film on the same day and that part of the job. But right now we're just walking to the office. I got to grab a couple cameras that we are going to be using for the game tomorrow. And I figured since the dog needed a walk as well, that I'd bring her along too, so everyone say hey to my puppy. She's very excitable and happy to be out on a walk. Yeah, we haven't really done vlogs this informal on the channel. I've shown my work a lot, and I've done vlogs about what I do a lot. But I feel like this raw, shot on iPhone, a little bit more candid perspective is going to be really nice to have on the channel. So I hope you like it. We're going to give it a try. And yeah, let's get to it. Day one. Here we go. Camera secured, let's head home. Normally, when I'm editing for the day, I work right here. But as you can see, this is kind of a disaster right now. There's just gear everywhere because I did a gig last night, and I'm going to film a football game tomorrow, and then I'm filming a football game on Saturday. So there's kind of gear everywhere, all over my desk as I pack it, and there's gear all over here. It's really just kind of a disaster in this office. So we're working out here on the dining room table today. It kind of gives me that working in a cafe type of vibe when you open the windows and you can hear everything happening outside. So it's actually nice for me to focus like that. I gotta post something in 20-25 minutes on our YouTube channel, and then we got just a bunch of meetings to make sure everything's in order to roll out for kickoff tomorrow, and maybe a little bit of editing, and of course actually managing all that gear, which is it's going to be a while, but it'll be fun. So I'll actually take you through everything that I'm going to be bringing to this game as we pack it together. I took a couple of hours to wrap up some edits and dial in the settings on my cameras that I'll be using to film the opening game of the CFL season tomorrow before moving on to pack my camera bag. The case I'm using here is the Nanic 935. I won't go over every single piece of gear I'm packing here since I just released a video about this camera rig, specifically where I do essentially that. So if you'd like to see that video, I'll link it down in the description, though I do want to mention some of the gear here that I didn't bring up in that video. So I packed these Tiffin Pro Mist quarter strength filters as I use in all my cameras, and also a Tiffin variable ND filter, which I'd really unfortunately go on to crack a little bit later on. Rest in peace. I got a ton of charging cables and a Sony battery charging unit, since you always need to have tons of chargers and stuff ready, and I always set up a little charging station in my hotel room. I've got my trusty construction knee pads because kneeling on turf for a full football game can hurt. An SD card pouch with a ton of cards, fast cards, slow cards, backup cards, all that stuff, and a media bib for sideline access. And then in my backpack, I have the cameras and lenses that I'm using. So I've got the Sony FX30 with the Sony 100 to 400 millimeter, and the FX3 with the Tamron 35 to 150 millimeter lens. I've got a couple of V-mount batteries and a mini metal tripod. I also got my handy Zoom H1N in case I need to capture some quick clean audio while I'm on the go. I've got a bunch of hard drives that all have different types of footage from different periods that I use to edit. I've got my editing headphones, and then finally my laptop and related accessories. So that's everything I'm packing in my bag, minus clothes. And I also went through the rosters of every team that I'm filming this weekend. I'm doing 2 games, so 4 teams total. And I identified all the players who I have to get shots of and wrote out any other shots that I need, and then ranked all the players in order based on priority of how badly do I need footage of them. So now I have a shot list that I can work off of for the weekend for both of these games. So that's pretty much it for my day, which means the next thing that we're doing is actually flying to Winnipeg, and I feel like every vlog on this channel we just happen to be going to Winnipeg, but we're going to Winnipeg for the first game of the CFL season, so I'll see you in the morning at the airport.
Look, we are not them. We are not them. I serve G-O-D. That's the great I.
We're finally in Winnipeg. Woke up at 6 a.m. and it's now noon, but got to the hotel and we're not quite ready to check in yet, which makes sense. It's a little bit early for a check-in. So I'm gonna go for a little bit of a walk. First game of the season means we need a new hard drive. So I'm gonna hit a mall. It's about a 20-minute walk from here. Pick up a new hard drive. I also haven't had breakfast and it's already lunchtime, so I'll just get a big lunch, I guess, when I'm there as well. It's raining a little bit, as you can probably tell, and it's pretty windy. Maybe not ideal conditions for filming, but I think the rain looks good on camera, so I'm hoping that at least manage to look nice if it's not going to be comfortable outside. Oh, that's really hard. I know I said I wasn't going to be a try-hard this video, but we are going to use this just for the shot to get a little bit of better audio. Yeah, managed to actually get to the mall and get the hard drive I need to store all of my footage for the entire year, which is good because the first game's tonight, obviously, so I'm going to need that from here going forward. And yeah, I think I have to leave to the stadium in like an hour and a half. I'm pretty sure it's 2:30 right now. I got to be at the stadium at 4:30 for a 7:30 p.m. kickoff, and you might be thinking that's really early. But you have to navigate your way into the stadium and get to the press box and then build the camera rig out. And there's so many things to capture well before kickoff even starts that are so important to telling the story of a game. So I'm going to take you through my whole process for doing all of that. But first, I'm going to rest a little bit. And then we'll go to the stadium. We'll get our gear set up. And I'll take you through both of the camera rigs that I'm using today and my sequence of events for everything that I capture on a game day when I'm filming professional sports. First thing we got to do is get to the media entrance and get in. Then we're going to head to the press box and build our camera. You can see right over there is the tailgate set up. And we'll probably be back there later to get some fan footage before the game and get some establishing shots of the stadium with its new branding because the name changed in the offseason. So the first place that we're going to head now that we're in the stadium is the press box, and that's normally where I settle all my gear, get my laptop set up, and build out my camera rigs for the day. Normally in the press box here, where I am right now, there's like assigned seating, and I don't have a seat actually assigned up here because I spend my time on the field, but I'm comfortable with the guy who sits right here. We're friendly. So I'm just using this spot for a bit. We're a few hours early, so I've got the rig built up. It's the FX30, and I'm just dialing in my custom presets so that I can use memory recall mode on this camera tonight, and everything's like set up and the white balance is all good and all that. And after I get that set up, we're going to go shoot some establishing shots outside the stadium. But with regards to what I'm actually here to capture tonight, like, I guess in order of priority, my number one goal is capturing like big action plays, like touchdowns, emphatic celebrations, guys scoring, getting excited, the fans going crazy, like the things that you come to a football game for. I want to capture those big moments tonight. We need them for marketing campaigns throughout the year because this is the first game of the season, and there's a lot of other games we have to market for from now until November. The second thing I'm here for is capturing new faces. So a lot of players switch teams in the offseason, or new people come into the league, and then my job coming here, because we technically have no footage of them to work with, is, that's a loud motorcycle, capture footage of them so we can actually market them going forward. And then my third objective is like atmosphere stuff. So capturing fans going crazy, capturing really tight detail shots of cleat hitting the turf or things of that nature, which is why I have this 100 to 400 lens right here. That's to capture those little details that I need to like intercut into videos that we make over the course of the season, because you can't only have wide stuff, you need tight stuff too, so you can go in and out. So those are my three objectives, kind of in order, as well as I mentioned earlier, capturing outside visuals of the stadium since it was all rebranded. And we're going to kind of knock that stuff off in order after I get this camera set up, starting with outside the stadium. I started off by grabbing a couple of establishing shots in and around the stadium before grabbing my camera and making my way down to the field. During pregame, I got tight shots of players on both teams before setting up to film entrances.
So we're shooting entrances right now, and I'm gonna leave this camera right here on its own running really tight for one angle, and I'm gonna go handheld into where the guys are running out, just over there, with this camera, so I can get 2 angles of it.
Once I was done with the wide camera, I ran back to the sideline to get on the tight camera and shoot these close-ups.
So I'm shooting most of this first half on the big right here, and I'm just trying to shoot a lot of details, not focusing much on action, because the teams are in midfield right now. If they get a little bit closer to the red zone, I'm gonna run down to the end zone and catch it.
I started the game off by shooting details and shots that show rivalry and competitiveness, as well as some close-ups of key players in motion. This is one of those times where that comment I made earlier about grabbing my small camera and running came into play. Then I had to go for another pretty long run here on the back of this unexpected 80-yard touchdown, and safe to say my 40 could use a little bit of work. Even though I was gassed, I still got that celebration shot, so it was definitely worth the sprint. And just like that, the game was done, and it was time to pack everything up and head back to the hotel. So we just got back from the game. That was a long day. It was lots of fun. I'm really happy with a lot of the shots I got. I think it looked really good. I really did focus on those details and get a lot of good stuff. So I guess the final part of my day on a game day here would be like melting all my footage together, which is like going through it, grabbing the best shots, sorting everything out so that I can easily find it later and making exports so that I can pull footage from when I need to. But I'm not going to do that right now because it's midnight and I need to wake up at 4 or 4:30 a.m. to catch a flight tomorrow to go to the next game. But this is where I'm going to leave you with this day, or I guess a couple of days in the life video. So if you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel because I post videography and video editing tips and tutorial videos similar to this on a regular basis. I would say this is actually more informal and like off the cuff than my usual videos. I don't usually just film everything on my phone like this. But if you liked it, then like by all means, I think you're gonna like the other stuff because it's higher production quality and still the same type of vibe, and we just get to hang out. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section. I'm always down to chat about whatever you guys got going on. And until next time, peace.